Greetings, fellow residents of White Pine Bay. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And welcome to Talking Mrs. Bates, the show where we check into the Bates Motel.
But we don't always check out.
I don't know why I decided to make that noise. How you doing, BlueDragonFive?
I'm well.
Yeah, Mother's Day coming up. You feeling in the Mother's Day spirit with Bates Motel?
Mother. Little.
All right. Well, this was, I would have to say this episode probably wasn't as good as some of the great Season 3 episodes we got. I think you and I can both agree that Bradley was kind of like the thing that dragged this episode down a little bit. We still got some really good stuff to go over, though. So you want to jump right into it?
Sure. Cue us in,
Right.
Tiki.
Previously on Bates Motel.
So pretty much in a nutshell, Dylan and Caleb's gun running thing for Chick Hogan didn't go so well. Apparently, it was not a setup per se, but they blamed Chick Hogan for the arrest of several other arms dealers, and it went south, and pretty much no money for them. It would appear, which is not good, and they escaped barely with their lives. Also, a big thing on the Norma side. Thanks to some prying by lovable Ultron-y Bob Paris. No, we're kidding. He does definitely resemble James Spader, but he's done some research and he's found out very thoroughly that Norman did in fact kill his father, and is having black. It's pretty much Paris's leverage on Norma, which means Norman's secret's out and he's in danger, and Norma's willing to go with any lengths to protect him. And the huge revelation at the end we're going to get into right now is that so Norman's having a blackout at the end. He's seeing Mother, and he's just trying to avoid that, trying to convince himself it's not real. It's not going away, but it's not real. Runs away, chasing the imaginary Juno, and then he finds guest star Bradley Martin.
Yep, and this is something that just kind of slipped into the season. Like, you and I, for a time, were convinced she wasn't going to show up, right?
Well, I mean, I said she's gonna have like a more of like the end of the season. Maybe she slips in saying, "I'm gonna be here next season."
Like, here I am. Hello. But yeah, no, here she is, and yeah, she's getting ready to die. She's getting ready to die because, my God, is this foreshadowed? So you want to get into it?
Sure. Okay, so literally picking up from that moment onward, it's Norman Bradley.
Norman's got like that blackout, like, face.
Yeah, bear in mind he was in stage 1 last episode. Well, he was debatably in stage 3/1 because he was just hallucinating vigorously, but he's still talking to her, so it must be in just stage 1.
Well, yeah, no, he's still talking to her, actually. So I would actually say that, would you wager to say that she kind of snapped him out of being in blackout mode?
Perhaps. So he was either like...
I got that.
Yeah, he was in kind of a cross between 1 and 3, but regardless, he's probably just snapped out of it by her, you're right. So, So basically, they're talking in this little kind of dialogue between Dude and Bradley, saying, life hasn't been too good since she left. Basically, after what caused her leave after the whole incident.
Oh no! Yes.
Let's play that again.
You don't have to play it again. I don't have that many pennies.
Okay. We're on a budget this season, folks.
I think I have like maybe 30 of them, maybe, in front of me. I don't have that big of a pile this time. So
anyway, so basically after the whole debacle there last season, she had to leave town because she killed Blair Watson. She's been on the run. So apparently we find out in the month she's been gone. Apparently it's been a month. Makes sense because we just went from like summer to winter, so I guess it's like towards the end of summer.
Well, actually, I would actually argue to say that didn't she say that she's been driving across country for a month? So she could have been gone longer than that. Yeah, she could have gone across the country and then driven back just to drive back.
Yeah, but it just maybe like the last month wasn't good. Maybe it was good at first, and then it just turned south. It's good.
Well, I mean, if anything else, it's kind of like a classic sort of Marion Crane situation with the money. It's like when she has the money, it's all good.
So very much life hasn't been good for Bradley on the run, and she's like try going somewhere with no money, no parents. And then Norman's just kind of asking the logical question: well, why'd you come back? Well,
I don't
no money,
want to be dead anymore, Norman. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of the performance from Bradley here? I think it's pretty weak sauce.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's okay, I guess. It's just nothing spectacular compared to our other fantastic.
It's okay, I guess.
Okay.
I want to put that on a poster. It's okay, I guess.
I don't want to sound mean to the girl. I mean, she's playing an emotionally drained, which I guess makes sense. But at first, she grows on.
She has a good moment here and there, but overall, I think her delivery is kind of flat.
Yeah, I think she just kind of picks up more towards the end of the episode. I think it's when everything kind of picks up with her story. That's anyway. So basically, she's kind of pointing out the logic. I like how she does point out the logic. Well, no money, no parents, no resources. Of course, I'd be back here. That's kind of funny. Are they in a car by any chance during this conversation?
Yes, they are in her car. Yes.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me. I see a repeating pattern there. Couldn't help but notice. Anyway, so in that game.
Okay. So
let's see. I don't want to be dead anymore.
So next we have I don't want to be dead anymore, Norman. All right, so we have Norma going to Bob's, just taking a casual visit up to Bob's place.
Pretty much kind of like Godfather too. She's begging the big powerful guy to spare her son's life in a way. So let's see how that goes.
You don't get to call the shots anymore, Norma. Bringing me the flash drive would be in your best interest, though. But I think Romero may beat you to it. You had him pretty tight around your finger, didn't you? I think I opened his eyes. It's kind of funny, isn't it? You think I'm the bad guy, but I think you may be much worse than me. Don't let me fall into your pool. You might never get out.
So, big thing.
I also love how the starter to that conversation is, "How's the pool coming?"
Paris just loves holding the pool thing over her head. He just loves the fact, I'm digging into your property pretty much for your own grave right now.
All right.
So yeah, Norma just in that
also,
scene.
You kind of skipped over that he hired a private investigator. And he dug up stuff like Norman killing Cody's father, and then Shelby, and then she's like, well, Norman didn't do that. No, Romero did that. How convenient.
So yeah, so Paris is holding all the cards here and holding it over Norma's head, saying, "Hey, listen, you don't get to call the shots here. Okay? You may have leverage, but not for long. I'm imagining." So again, Paris is really. I love Paris is kind of calling her out on her stuff here, which is really intimidating towards Norma, because again, Norma's in a wit's end right now because it's all about protecting Norman, right? And just basically says, just leave him out of this. Oh boy. And just,
I feel like she's kind of like, by doing this, by being so desperate about it, she's basically like opening him up. He's like, oh well, shoot. Of course I'm going to do that to her because that's exactly what she doesn't want me to do. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That Paris is a good businessman.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But also,
right, so we got a bowl of jerky ready. So you ready to go through the next Chick Hogan scene?
Well, in a moment. I just want to point something out, Norma, here. I love that we're going to get throughout this episode kind of a real big callback to season 1, Norma, throughout this episode. But I love how Paris is kind of calling her on how cunningly manipulative she can be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially with Romero, because I think Paris is just impressed by the fact that, oh man, I can't get Romero for the life of me. All my charm, I can't get Romero on my side, but you could, and you did for so long with all these secrets.
Yeah, and we really did see that play out over the course of like almost 3 seasons. How Romero was like kind of like the bulldog against her at the beginning, but then like I'd say definitely like throughout season 2 and very much in season 3, we've definitely seen her influence come over him.
Oh yeah, because we've always been kind of debating like how much of this is like genuine Norma emotion, so how much is it behind the scenes manipulation. I love the fact it's kind of ambiguous in places. It is mostly genuine, but still there's that manipulation
Mhm.
behind a lot. And of course, it's that line just Paris says like, "I think you're a little worse than I am."
Yeah, that's a great line.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so we got some boar jerky ready.
I got the boar jerky.
Pretty much, Caleb's coming in, kind of airing out his grievances, saying, "Hey, well, we almost got shot for a bum deal. Not too happy about it. I love my son. You almost got him killed." And it goes a little something like this. Some classic Hoganisms in there.
I'm sorry. Now where are my guns and money? There are no guns and money. For all I know, you never made it to Canada. You sold my weapons to somebody here in the States and came back here with that sad sack story. We're done talking. You were gonna give me the 25 grand you owe me for doing the job, and you're gonna be grateful that I'm a different man than I used to be. Okay, that I'm willing to just take the money and leave and not put a bullet in your damn skull. You've got the gift of wit. I'll give you that. It's hard to find these days. Okay, so we'll have a drink and talk it out. I think we'll be fine.
Excuse me one moment. I think I skipped the funny Hogan line real quick. Let me just find it.
Mhm.
Should be right. Here we go. This is like the funny line.
Hey! Nice plan you put together. Wait, what do you mean? We're lucky we got away with our lives. Tell me what happened. You know what happened? No, I don't. You set us up. Okay, you're an informant. Playing both sides. Well, you know what? They're onto you. Their plan was to kill my son to send you a message. Did they kill Dylan? You know what? You'd be dead if they did. Well, thank God they didn't kill Dylan.
I love that line. I just love this kind of Hogan just acknowledge. I think it's kind of a meta joke too. Of like, oh, thank God, thank God they didn't kill Dylan.
Yeah, right.
That's what I
I
love.
love how casual he is at first. He's like, well, just come on. Explain
It's like
what
that-
happened. We'll talk it out over some boar jerky.
It's like the bit from last episode where he said, if you anything happens to him, I'm going to kill you. He says, well, it's a little dramatic, but okay.
Right.
Just love that.
So
So
essentially,
things escalated
go ahead.
much into a kind of Hogan's going to shoot him with a gun because remember, he has a lot of guns. A lot.
Yes, Dylan, I own a lot of guns.
And guns really are Hogan's specialty. I'm going to guess that he's like a
I think
designer.
Chick Hogan's a man of many specialties, BlueDragonFive.
Tiki, let me ask you this. Do you
I
remember?
mean, we see him welding when he comes in, that's a skill.
Tiki, let me ask you this. In the previous episode, we was talking about his painting. We was talking about his art. Did he mention paintings or just like art, like pieces? Did he mention pieces or paintings?
No, I think he mentioned paintings. Yeah, he mentioned particular pieces.
Because you'll
Dylan
notice.
said cool to a particular piece.
Because you'll notice, like, what their cover was like, they were transporting a sculpture. Because that's a little metal thing that fell off the truck when they drove away last episode. That was what they were. That was their cover, like paintings, and I guess that.
Okay, interesting.
So the point is, seeing him weld and stuff like that, I'm getting a sense that he might be like the guy kind of customizing these weapons and stuff for guys. Like he might be the guy sawing up the shotguns and all that stuff. That might be his specialty.
Right. Okay.
So,
Well, we'll see what happens with him. He's definitely going to have a role in the finale for sure.
Well, yes. The point is that what we didn't see. There's that Caleb was literally they're beating the tar out of each other, and you just basically Caleb just
It's pretty brutal, yeah.
It is. We get to see, and I love this that Caleb is just gonna. We see kind of the violence that Caleb has inherited. It does play big time into the Bates genetic line, if you will, kind of violence and instability.
Of course.
Kind of you see the combination with Norman's skewing more towards crazy, especially with Norman, mostly with Norman. With Caleb as he was fighting Chick there, he saw definitely kind of the violence. He says, "If I was the kind of man I used to be, he was what have killed him." Just the point is, like, he has a lot of his father's violence, and which probably showed itself when he was raping Norma towards the end.
Oh God.
Like I can only imagine. Anyway, so it's really just the fact that he gets results from it too. That's impressive. That's what's scary about Caleb. I love that we get to see what's so terrifying about Caleb.
Well, that's always been kind of the good thing about Caleb having him around in season 3 is he's always kind of walked that ambiguous line between it's like you know that his whole character is that he wants to get over his hurdles, you know, he wants to escape his past, but at the same time, his past is completely what defines him as a character.
And there's always been kind of that menace, and just like this again, he is a lot like it's Lenny, right? Lenny's the big one.
Yeah, Mice and Men, yeah.
Yeah, he's a lot like Lenny in terms of he's kind of unfiltered. He means well, but a lot of that strength is going to come out in unfortunate ways. It can ultimately lead to his demise, which I'm guessing it will.
All right.
So next scene, we got Emma.
Yeah, Emma's closing up, and then Dylan, he's pulling back up.
By the way,
I guess we were wrong on the speculation. What?
We got some foreshadowing with literally foreshadowing because we see Emma's first appearance, like she turns out the light and then she walks through it. So basically, it's like darkness. Then she comes out of that.
I think you're reaching a little bit with that.
I'm just saying, visual looks like just like the way it was shot. Like the lights was completely pitch black, dark. It wasn't just like lights. It was like just intentionally dark. I don't know. You're right. I could be reading it. I'm just saying it looked kind of cool.
Fair enough. I didn't pick up on any sort of symbolism with it.
Well, you were the one reading into the lines. I'm reading into the lights.
Well, we were completely wrong about. We thought that Dylan and Emma weren't going to get to see each other before Emma died.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, like, we don't really know what was in that note now, do we?
No, not yet. He hasn't been to the. We can assume he hasn't been back.
Came up.
Well, he hasn't been back there yet, to our knowledge.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he
went back because that's where he got the money.
Well, I mean, yeah, he goes there later on, I guess, but not at this point though. He hasn't read it yet. But yeah, he's probably.
Well, I'm just saying the letter just didn't get addressed this episode.
Yeah, I wonder if Gunnar ate all those cookies or not.
He probably just didn't have any interest in them because they weren't pot cookies. Maybe he ate like one or two just to try it out, just to see. Like, oh man, I'm not getting high.
Yeah. You know, I would have loved the scene where Norma teaches Emma how to make cookies. I would have loved the scene like that. Anyway,
that seems like it would be a perfect like little 2-minute like webisode.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, Dylan comes back to the motel, and he, as Emma sees he's returned, she's all giddy, and she comes out to talk to him. But Dylan, he's come back looking at the giant gaping hole in the wall, and he has a very logical question. It sounds very similar to, what was that?
What was that?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
What was this?
You want to tell you? She's not at a pool. She wanted to surprise you.
This isn't like a pool. This looks like a bomb crater.
Very astute observation.
Pretty much.
Kind of reminds me a bit of this.
This is awfully deep for a pool.
I think Dylan's on to something there.
I also think Norma's onto something.
Yes, I think we're all on this.
I think she's putting the pieces together.
Pool is a little ominous.
Oh dear. All right, so Dylan, he makes the comment about how he must smell horrible. Well, Emma asks how the delivery went, and he just kind of shakes it off. He's like, not good.
Yep.
And and then he makes a comment about how he needs to shower because he smells, and she's like, well, I can't tell because tubes up my nose, but
again, Emma's so adorable.
Yeah, we love how Emma is like so. I wouldn't even say self-deprecating. It's just she can make light out of her condition.
Yeah, she
which
does.
Has always been like. Yeah, that's a great part of her character.
But again, I just think it's adorable. Also, I kind of like the giddy kind of. Not necessarily a giddy schoolgirl from her, but it's kind of like the youngness of their relationship in terms of Dylan just mentions. He needs to go for a shower, and she says this line saying, "I have a nice shower." Just like she's getting like you can tell she's like on the brink of blushing just talking about that.
Oh God. Right.
You can tell like this the way she delivers that. It's like, have a good shower.
Have a nice shower. All right. So, and then as he walks away, she asks why he needed the money. Was it important? Is there anything she can do to help?
No, you can't
And-
help, but it's important. Thank you.
Yeah, it was important. Yeah. Oh boy. All right, so Bradley and Norman, they're parking the car out by the woods, and their plan is to go into the motel and check Bradley into a room because the motel's empty. Yada yada yada. Okay, anything else to that?
A little bit of this.
It'd be nice to get a shower and sleep in an actual bed.
Just, my mother see you. You're dead.
Yeah, so first of all, a little nice little psycho reference of the girl, just the
Norma also does not, he very much does not think Bradley is a nice girl.
very true. Here's the idea.
As we
of
saw with her evil yoga pose fantasy.
But still, I think it's like a nice little tongue-in-cheek reference to Psycho in terms of, the girl coming back trying to kind of not be noticed.
Sure, yeah, with the shower, there's a lot of reference to this episode, and I think that's pretty on the nose. And
Mother thinks you're dead.
right.
Oh yeah, good. So point is just going to be somehow sneak her in there for a bit, which usually hasn't worked out well in the past. I want to point that out. Just sneaking people like remember Zhao didn't work so well.
Yeah, that's true. That was kind of a clusterfuck.
Well, then like Norma thought there was some sort of wild party going on in there, but
oh god,
like two girls in a
Okay.
bed with Norma. She thought something was up there.
All right, so Dylan, he comes back to the cabin. Like I said, he doesn't pick up the note or anything, so whatever. And what's waiting for him but a big old stack of money.
A lot of money,
Oh, yeah.
and not just 25,000. Much more than that.
Yeah, and also Caleb with a broken nose.
Yes, and apparently he didn't find the
Very
time to
bloody
wash.
broken nose.
He really hasn't found time to change his shirt. That would be the smart move in this situation. Well, I got blood of another guy, a lot of blood from another guy and myself on a shirt here. We want to get rid of that in case the cops start coming around.
Like a young Bruce Wayne, Dylan asks, first thing he asks is, did you kill him?
Oh yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yep. And Caleb reassures him that no, he didn't kill me. Wanted to, but he didn't. I love that. Just Caleb respects Dylan enough. He's just trying to change his ways here. So he's trying not to kill people, kind of lead an example for his son, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much, we earned this. Dylan's like saying, like, well, this is going to spell trouble. You beat him up, and you took this money. And first of all, I just want to point this out. Apparently Chick Hogan's really well off because he wasn't just relying on this deal, which is probably going to be for much more money than this because he was just going to pay these guys like a shipping and handling fee almost.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you interpret it as they were both going to get, it was like for both of them, 25,000? You think it was 25,000 each? That's my question.
I did
I'm
not
wondering-
interpret it as both of them were going to get 25,000.
Yeah, because initially I just thought it was for both of them 25,000, but then again, thinking about it,
Yeah,
with
that's
two
what I
guys, and apparently he's well off because he had $50,000 lying around.
Just lying around, yeah.
And apparently Chick Hogan even has bags for the money, too, apparently.
yeah, like really fancy, like plastic little, little baggies.
Seriously,
real official looking.
Yeah, he didn't have barrels or anything. It was plastic bags.
He's literally money bags.
It's Breaking Bad.
Oh. All right.
Okay, so let's see. So then, so he's kind of making the logical call here. He says, "Well, I'm going to be hitting the road soon, but before I do, I'm going to be hiding out. If you need me, you can find me." He says, "You're gonna be there, right?" Of course I am. So a nice little fatherly moment there.
Yeah. And then my mistake, we actually skipped over Norman and Bradley, and then they're at the hotel, and then they're planning on how to tell them how to tell.
Hello?
Yeah.
I think we missed something important. Very important. We missed the Normero part.
Is that just not on my notes?
It must not be on your notes because it happens.
No
Really,
way.
the way I have it is
how is that not on my notes?
I have it.
How is that not on my notes? Hold on. Now something's wrong here.
I have Nadley or Brorman, however you want to phrase that. They're in the woods talking about like, well, yeah, I gotta go to gotta go to basically going to the motel. Don't let mother find she's dead, and then it goes to the station.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, you're
sorry,
right.
folks.
I'm sorry. I don't know how I skipped over all that. Okay, that's totally my bad. Okay.
Sorry, folks.
Well, we're doing this kind of like now. It's like Memento. We're going backwards. So.
Yep, sorry, folks. We made a boo-boo. So basically, the next Normero interaction doesn't go swimmingly as.
Hi, how's it going?
Doesn't go like that. It's something like this.
Why haven't you answered any of my calls?
Because I don't want to talk to you.
Whatever. You want to act like a third grade girl right now? You know what? I can't keep you nervous. I just need the stupid flash drive back.
You need to get the house down right now.
Okay, I understand that you were upset with me, but all I can tell you is just try living in my shoes for a week and then get back to me. You know, I don't care about that. It's not my job to make you like me tonight. It's my job to get it back. Bob wins, I lose. I don't give a shit. Just give it.
Okay, you talk about.
I just want out of this.
You're out of it. I'm taking care of it.
What the hell does that mean? How are you taking care of it? You don't just get to take care of it and not tell me what that means. I'm the one who gave it to you.
Well, live and learn. Norma, be careful where you give things to. We're not talking about anything.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Romero.
Romero is temporarily broken up.
Yeah, so their relationship's in kind of shambles right now because Romero felt very betrayed by Norma last episode, and that's why he took the flash drive, turned it over to DA, but she doesn't know that yet. He just says it's in his hands. So, first of all, big thing in this scene is kind of goes with these two throughout. Again, Norma, really big season 1 Norma this episode. And it kind of, I love that it kind of backtracked the relationship back to season 1 where Romero was just kind of the ominous guy. She didn't know if she could trust or not. And literally, we have the best representation of that is that it's Norma kind of having that classic. I love that it's kind of in every season now. I hope they keep doing it. Like she goes to the police station and says, "I need to see Sheriff Romero."
Right.
But this time she is
like how awesome is her delivery of just like, oh, whatever.
You want to act like a third grade girl. But still,
it's a nice third grade girl.
Wait, see what I mean? Though I love. She didn't even have time to like do the whole like wait behind the glass routine. She just barged right in there and just.
Oh yeah.
So basically, Romero. First of all, Romero's power is kind of slowly slipping away from him this whole episode. So right off the bat, she's not following procedure because she just ticked off at him, and it's so sad to see the relationship kind of digress to what it was the first season, just like him being kind of the ominous guy in her life again, of like I can't trust him anymore, and just they feel both equally bad about that. Like they wish it was the other way, but it just isn't.
She's so sad.
Yeah, seriously, that was like I love just kind of how it's like back to season 1 again with these dads, and just seeing like in the sheriff's get up and everything again. Oh, it's good stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Again,
okay, really quick, go through the Bradley stuff.
So pretty much they're in the motel room. She's eating something, I don't know, it was some fruit bowl thing. I don't know.
Oh, whatever.
Basically, they're discussing stuff, and she says she has no plan for how to approach her mom, telling her that she's alive, and she's kind of weighing her options and asking Norman if he can do it. So again, the big problem with Bradley, again, I think we should talk about our big problem with Bradley, kind of in the opening here.
Let's do it.
So yeah, here's the problem. She in this scene particularly. This is where I had big problems with her. She comes across as just kind of like whining, just like she's more of a burden on Norman in this scene. Like, well, maybe you could do it. You know, it's like I don't have a plan. She just seems really like. It's like I feel like it was detracting from stuff we could have done with Norman and Emma or anything else. Like, just taking away time we could have had for other stuff. However, I think they have a grand plan with Bradley, and I think the only reason we're having Bradley kind of in here for this first part, and I think it's going to pay off definitely the next part. Is that it's like she represents kind of like the secret side of Norman, like a secret coming back to haunt him, and like basically she like for Norman to move on as a character, she has to be completely out of his life. And remember, she is actually very integral to Norman's current state because she kind of could blow the whistle on a lot of things. Because think about it, if Romero or someone or Paris, for instance, finds out that Bradley Martin's back, it's going to raise some questions. Wait a minute, what sparked the drug war? This girl's father. In a way, and wait, how did Gil Turner die? Well, we never got a guy who actually did it. Maybe it's her. So basically, that would kind of lead back to everything kind of swooping down on Norman. So she is a very kind of she represents a big problem in Norman's life right now. So she's a lot does hinge on her. So I think by the end of the episode, we kind of realize all that stuff, and we see how her story's going to progress next episode. I think we like her more, but again, she's kind of dragging on in the beginning here.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like going through season 1 of Gotham, there's no female character who is going to get under his skin as much as Barbara did. I mean, that's just not going to happen. But
Yeah, but still, I see. I'm giving him more leeway, Brett, because I think they are trying to go for something. I kind of get what they're doing. It's just.
I mean, no, they're definitely going for like. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Like we both think she's going to be killed off next.
Oh, of course,
episode,
yeah.
right?
She's marked for death, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but you see
So,
what I mean, though.
don't know.
I think we just initially this is the reason I think this isn't gonna one of our favorite episodes of this season. We had a really fantastic season. This one's probably gonna be the lowest on time because this Browse stuff is a little clunky in the beginning.
It really is clunky, yeah.
But again, if it pays off with the next one, I think we'll be able to forgive it just in the grand scheme of the season. I think we'll just see what they're going for a little more.
And I do think this episode had, again, some of the best scenes of the whole series.
Again, the Bradley stuff isn't bad. I want to make that clear. It's not bad. It's just kind of not as thrilling as the rest of the stuff by any stretch.
Kind of drags. But
it picks up towards the end, though, obviously, with a blackout.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we went through, after that, then the Caleb Dylan scene followed. Then we get to Norman and Norman in the basement because Norman just comes in. He hears like a commotion going on in the basement, goes downstairs and see Norma is packing away all his taxidermy or throwing it away. Did it look like throwing it away or packing it away?
Oh, it looked like she was going to throw it away.
Yeah,
it looked like she was like putting it in a bunch of plastic, like garbage
bags. I could have sworn it was garbage bags, yeah. So really not good. So Norman, justifiably so, he's outraged by this. But then we get this little scene here. Basically, Norman's like asking, "What are you doing here?" And says, "Well, I'm getting rid of this because it looks, it makes you look guilty. Because well, just a hobby. No, it's not a hobby. It's a weird hobby." Then it kind of goes into Norman defending it like so.
Oh, because it would make me look bad, sick, crazy. I see.
Frankly, yes.
Okay, so then all of these things that I made, that I left that are beautiful, we're just gonna trash all these because you're afraid of how I look?
Right. You don't get it.
I think I do get it.
Nice.
At which point he pulls a knife.
Who really doesn't look so good in all of this? You, Mother. Don't take this the wrong way. Okay, I will always love you. You are the first thing that I think about when I wake up in the morning, and you are the last thing that I think about at night.
Whoa.
And I will take your word for it. You tell me that I do these things I can't remember. I'm not the one rummaging around in the basement. I'm not the one sleeping with their therapist.
She's never going to get over that.
Things might get confusing, Mother. It makes me wonder. How do I know it wasn't you who killed my father?
You are mad at me right now, and you are trying to hurt me. And I don't care. I can't care. Okay, I can't. So just stay in your room. I don't want you leaving this house until I know that we are safe, whether you like me or not.
Of course.
Of course.
Okay, so big scene of the season, right? This is a really good scene.
Yeah, just the moment when Norman, when he pulls his knife, like, I think I do understand. Oh, man.
I just love
his reaction to it.
I think we finally got to the point that's been kind of built up really well this season of, like, Norma getting to the point where she's afraid of Norman. And there's this moment of not just pulling the knife on her, just like just him kind of having these machinations of, like, well, because remember, we've seen literally in his head, that's how he writes off the murders, that Norma did these.
Of course, yeah.
So it's kind of coming to the fray right now, just like, no, you killed these people, Mother, and like it's kind of normally being faced with the fact she's kind of manipulative there. So basically, just like Norma's just being faced with the fact that these are in some way her fault. Basically, it literally is cemented on later on when she's confronted with this by Caleb, but here she's just kind of getting the sense that, well, Norman blames me for these murders, and he's convinced that I'm the one who's killed these people, and it's my fault. And I mean, am I manipulating? It's just that fear of inadequacy on Norma's. Like, she doesn't even have time to worry about it. Worry like the implications of that until later on. She's literally confronted with that when all hope is lost. Just right now, she's just like, is the horrifying moment. My child thinks that I'm the one responsible for this. Right. Again, I just love that horrified reaction on her face. Of he's basically Norman has like a kind of a clear-cut reason for like why she would be under scrutiny and not Norman. It's kind of basically Norman has like an alibi at the ready, which kind of terrifies her. But again,
yeah, it's like he's turning against her, definitely.
Again, it's scary. So I think they've really built up kind of the fear she's been developing of Norman this season. Yet she's still dedicated to her child. It's kind of like that thing in real life where mothers of children who have committed atrocities and/or murders will always say, "Oh, he's a good boy deep down," that sort of thing, almost.
Of course, yeah.
A bit of that, and then basically the end, she's like, "Well, I don't have time to process this right now. I'm doing this for you," and I gotta admire the dedication she has towards Norman. She is still shaken from that, but still going on to protect Norman. Like saying, "Okay, well, I just love at the end there. It's like saying, stay here. Don't." Still from last episode, the whole stay here, stay hidden. Don't go outside the house. Don't open the door for any strangers. And she's still mothering him, even though she's a little terrified of him right now. So we're getting some really powerful stuff right here. Just Norman just kind of he's almost severing the connection. He just pulled out the knife to make a statement of, well, these are my things. But the implication being, if there was one wrong move, he could have stabbed her.
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh boy, a lot of tension.
All right.
You're trying to hurt me.
And I can't care.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's see. So then we got, I believe it's Bradley and Norman.
Yeah, it's Bradley and Norman, and they're waiting outside of Bradley's house. They're kind of parked around the block, and they see
Getting into cars with questionable women.
Yes. Bradley's mother comes out of the car, comes out of the house first, followed by another gentleman who then kind of tenderly embraces the mother, and then Bradley's like, "Wow, they already replaced my dad."
Craig Kettleman, is that you?
Oh God, was it?
No, I'm just saying you need to.
That would be hilarious if it was.
I was saying it reminds me of the scene in Better Call Saul when they're scoping out the Kettleman's house, and that's
right. I don't have the Kettleman thing. I wish I did. Kettleman!
Oh, but we do need coins.
Oh, yes, you're right. We do. All right, let's see. That counts for one. Kettleman.
All right, counts for one. Anyway, so then they're vetting the mom's house, kind of thinking, how's the approach going on here? Then kind of Bradley gets out of the car after they all leave, so she can get in the house. And apparently they haven't changed locks or anything, which why would they? But so she knows what the key is, which is kind of a nice touch. Gets in there, she's looking at the place. She sees like they have the picture. There's a picture of her there, so they haven't completely forgotten about her. Then again, it's a picture she really hated. So. Yeah,
I don't know. Do you think Bradley's being unreasonable here?
Yes, I again, this is kind of the weaker part of the episode here with Bradley's stuff at the beginning here. Yeah, I think of course they would move on. They want to forget kind of the horrible stuff that happened to him. I mean, it's really the mother. Right? There's no father to speak of. He's dead.
Right.
Well, I mean, I get the sense. I think what they're going for is like just the kind of a fear of change, which does relate to Norman's arc. So I think again, Bradley is kind of supposed to be reflective of what Norman's going through this season at times. And some of that works. I get what they're going for. That's the main thing. There's like just the idea.
I like when she walks into her room and it's an exercise room, but
so, you sympathize for her, but again, she is kind of.
You sympathize for her, but at the same time, I completely understand why things are the way they are.
You feel bad for her, but she should have expected them to move on to some extent. She said month, but it's probably more than a month, so I can't just say like. Things changing in a month, maybe there was a bit of offense there, but if it's more than a month, then
Yeah, I got the sense that it was at least like half a year. So
yeah, if it's like half a year, then definitely things are going to change. What are you surprised about? But I mean, if they if you walked in in the 2 weeks from when you were supposedly dead, I'm saying if it was 2 weeks. I know it's not. I'm just like, let's say walking 2 weeks and you find that everything's changed. Oh man, they really didn't miss me at all.
Yeah, that would be a little more excusable.
So, I mean,
I don't know. I mean. Like, we feel for her. I do feel like the actress probably does a good job of what she's given.
I mean, I love the moment where Norman's like holding her hand out of sympathy. I do love that moment.
Oh yeah, that's a nice moment.
So I mean, the Bradley stuff's not lost. I think just Norman seeing kind of like a lost soul that the town is kind of ruined, and like Norman life kind of ruined by proxy of Norman. He feels guilty. Norman's taking responsibility for it. So in a way, Norman, it's a twisted way here. Norman, unbeknownst to himself, is acting like his mother and mothering her.
Oh God. Oh, you're right. You're right.
So-
That's
so again,
horrifying.
So again, the Bradley stuff, I think it's just on the second watch when you consider a lot of the stuff, it's getting a little better. But again, it still could get
Okay.
a little tighter knit.
All right. Now what's going on with
So then we
Romero?
got kind of a huge moment with Romero. We've seen Romero in control for pretty much all of this series, even when like someone burned his house down, so he owned every scene in that season. And the only thing that surprised him was the fact that Norman Mayer just kind of revealed that he got away with lying to him. So here, Liz Babbitt, I guess our DA that he contacted with the flash drive person, he's kind of handing names over to so he can kind of make all the arrests of all the big powerful people in town and everything. Clearing his conscience, kind of doing the right thing, or getting like kind of spiting Norma a little too, deep down.
A little bit.
A little bit. It's pretty much she's saying, well, okay, we got the information here. There's one thing we got to go over, though. Your mother's name was on the list. Romero explains it, father. So we find out that Romero's father actually started the drug trade, too. Like in the 80s, his father, he was really, truly, he's the reason the town is all screwed up, which I do like that idea. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it was drugs and sex, and I guess Paris was more responsible for the sex side of the town, taking it over.
Paris has got the sex thing covered.
It's interesting when you think about it. So Romero was in charge of the drugs after his father.
My son is not going to go to jail because some perverted asshole got 2 women killed.
That is so funny, by the way. But the point is, you see, it's such an interesting idea, though, that Romero is kind of the product of the drug side of the town's economy, and Paris is the other side of that. And he's
yeah, it is interesting. And then we saw a little bit of that in season 1 too, with of course, with Shelby.
Yeah, of course, with Keith Summers. I'm assuming like Keith Summers is also kind of the third branch of that network of sex and drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, so let's see. Then, like that one was even like a shadow. It's like because Romero didn't even know about the sex trade going on. He just knew. Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, so then this little scene kind of plays out after Romero's coming clean. Then we have the moment where his power is taken away from him. First time we ever see Romero sweat a little bit.
Well, that's kind of odd. After your father was convicted, you were elected sheriff of White Pine Bay?
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What?
It's just,
Ugh.
don't you think the citizens of this town want to distance themselves from the relation of convicted felon?
My father and I are not this person. Everybody in this town knows that. And we're not close. I mean, I just implicated him in the commission of a new crime.
Yeah, I get that you don't like your dad. It's not the part I'm having trouble understanding. So given the history of this town, I find it difficult that you can claim to know nothing about the illicit activities that have been going on here.
Is there a question there?
Just talking.
Oh yeah. So I can't help but I think it's at least kind of towing the line from logical character to annoying deputy from the second season.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
I'm just saying the way she delivers that one line, like, yeah, I get it, you don't like your dad. Just that I'm thinking that's that deputy. Oh, I'm remembering that deputy right now.
That deputy was like the Barbara of this show.
Seriously, no, she's not the Barbara. She's the Montoya. Remember the one doing she's the one just with a big pain in the side,
Right. Oh god.
I will hang you from the highest tree. Oh, it'd be so awesome if Jim Gordon said to that Renee Montoya in that show if she didn't die. Well, assuming she
Montoya, I will hang you from the highest tree.
And then Bullock will
along with Alan.
Yeah, Alan stepped Alan. Anyway, so here she is making logical points, and I did like this kind of question, like the whole. Well, yeah, the town is very, very corrupt. How did you become sheriff? This town is super corrupt, which means we're going to be having more scrutiny on there, just going to put a lot more pressure on Romero. So we got to see someone like kind of question Romero on this stuff, an outside force on the town, which is, of course, makes sense. It's like Romero is the god of White Pine Bay, but again, he's the god of a small town.
Mm-hmm.
And he can only exercise his powers so far, like that car dealership. You don't know how far his reach can go.
Right.
So I mean, still, it's interesting to see Romero kind of in a position we've never seen. We see how it affects him later on. Just Romero's really.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it definitely puts him like he is pretty much compromised for the first time in the whole series. He's like, okay, they have something on me.
And they've smartly been building this up the whole season. Because remember, the town's really turning against him at this point. You know, Marcus Young almost killed him.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of still thankfully he killed Marcus Young. You got to smile more, Sheriff.
You got to smile more.
This is still Ramirez been on edge this whole season. We're gonna see it kind of take its toll. But this is like the final straw because like she's saying, you know, you've been very cooperative. We have a lot to do in the next 24 hours. Which kind of makes me think that's gonna be our time frame for the next episode, 24 hours.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so then we have a wonderful scene with Dylan here. We got Dylan dropping by Mr. Ducote's taxidermy shop to give him a little
Bruce Wayne already.
So basically, let's just say he does a really young Bruce Wayne action right here with this little wonderful scene here where he just drops $50,000 on his desk as he's doing some taxidermy.
Yeah, it's more than enough. I'll give the rest back to you, and I'll pay you back every cent. It doesn't matter, I don't care about that. Just promise me one thing. You won't tell him that it came from me. If that's what you want, it is. I'm gonna go up and say hi to her if that's okay. Done. Thank you.
So two things. One, just to specify what it was, the young Bruce Wayne moment in particular was just the moment of like that doesn't matter. The paying you back doesn't matter. Just promise me this. That's the young Bruce Wayne moment.
Sure.
That's what I love. I'm saying that's selfless Dylan right there. I love that. It's so noble.
And I'm really glad we have Mr. Ducote back on the show because he's such a genuine performer.
Yes, I love this guy. You know, I'm hoping if Emma eventually dies, if she does at some point, obviously we'll see. If she does, I would love it if like they kept the blog going. If like Mr. Ducote took it over out of remembrance for his daughter.
Oh no! I don't know how they would handle that, but we'll see.
I don't know. I'm just saying it'd be kind of nice to keep the blog going as like a father remembering his daughter. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm just kind of you see the blog going in some. Oh, what if Norma took up a blog? Oh my god.
What if Norma? Now Norma would be a little more logical to take up a blog.
However, to be honest, I think Dylan would be the most likely to take up a blog, probably.
Yeah, I could see that as remembrance of her. Yeah,
that's probably it. That's probably it. Anyway, so let's see. The other thing I really love is I just like with the genuineness of that guy. I just love just the ending of that, just that genuine. He has no words just aside from just Dylan. Thank you. Just love the genuineness of that. Thank you. It's so moving. Absolutely. I mean, I love Dylan helping out the Dakotas here. I just love that. It's so sweet. And bear in mind, they only need 20,000. He paid them in spades right there. You know, he just kind of paid them double plus 5,000.
Yeah.
Really nice. I mean, oh my god. Basically, so that was put her on top of the list, but now she's even more on top of the list should that work out.
Should it work out, and that's a big if.
But still,
I mean, you want to get into it right now? Do you think that Mr. Ducote's in any danger because he now has the money?
It's a legitimate possibility he could be in danger, depending on how thorough Hogan is in his detection skills. You know, if he can track that
jerky on his side, anything's possible.
Like, we don't know how much Hogan knew, like the reason they were using that money for. I don't think he knew, but I mean, if he can figure it out somehow, like see who acquired a lot of money recently in the town, he might be able to know. But I don't know how he would know that. Otherwise, I'd say, the point is, a guy who gets $50,000, there's going to be some danger associated with that. So.
Sure.
Some trouble's going to follow him in some way. I'm assuming Hogan will find him somehow.
Oh man, if he dies,
at the very least, you know what might happen? It might be Paris spying on just all the Bates family. Maybe that's how Chico finds out. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be.
Anyways, then we have a moment where like kind of doing it's funny, just people. The running thing in Bates Motel is just people kind of watching other people sleep. Just kind of Dylan appearing in Emma's room.
That's appropriate for the show. It's very.
It is. Just kind of Dylan appearing in Emma's room. I'm sure. I just love to imagine Emma's thought here. I love how they kind of mention it. She kind of mentions it in her blog, but just like you get the sense of like kind of like girlish embarrassment of, oh man, a boy's in my room and he's seen me like without all my bells and whistles on. No. So pretty much Dylan saying, well, Caleb has to leave town for business stuff. He has to leave for
for business. Yeah.
for some business, and it's a shame because I got used to him being here. And then she kind of drops the ball. And, well, I know he's your father. She's like, wait, how did you? I just love the dumbfoundedness on Dylan. So he's like, oh my god, she knows. He didn't know. Everyone else, like Norman, told her. And he's, well, yeah, Norman told me.
And at first, he's kind of horrified because he genuinely thinks that she'll think lesser of him.
I love that,
and I love how that pays off.
Yeah, because Dylan does have there is that concern with Dylan because he's a product of a horrific act, but still, just Emma is not deterred by that at all. She has all the more respect for him because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, then of course, like what you must think of me, and we have this awesome line following it from that one. I think it's my favorite Emma line ever. Oh, it's really nice.
It might be.
So this right here.
We come into the world the way we come into the world. It's not our choice, but at least we're here.
Thanks, Emma.
And the thank yous are really good in this show. It's still a really sweet moment between these two kids. I'm going to speculate on that one kind of lingering Nemo moment, but we'll get to speculation because I'm still a little perplexed by that, but we'll get to it.
I think you might have just misseen it. I think you might have seen Bradley.
No, I'm telling you, I freeze framed the heck out of that thing. I know what I've seen. I know it's there.
You know what you've seen.
I watched it. I made sure because there's a scene. I was making sure it wasn't the cabin scene. It's not. It's like in the motel. But
oh God.
We'll get to it. We'll get to speculation. Anyway, it's a really good scene between these two.
Yeah, and so really quickly, let's get to Emma's blog for this week because it totally ties into this scene. So the title of the blog is "There's Something About Him That Just Draws My Attention. The look on his face, the sound of his voice, and his innate desire to help his family at all costs. I find myself wanting to just be around Dylan more and more. It's not like I expected these feelings to flare up, but I am happy they are. It's like he's the perfect guy for me, and he's been right under my nose the entire time. He's been busy with his work, and I know he's got a lot on his mind, especially with his business, his dad, and making sure his family stays intact. He's all about doing the right thing and about being the bigger person. This is a characteristic that anyone would be lucky to have in a significant other. It was strange because Dylan came to my room yesterday, and I was napping. I know I probably looked terrible with some serious bedhead or something, but I felt comfortable, almost safe around him. Nothing else mattered. There's a sense that it feels like I can talk to him and be honest, and it seems like he feels the same way. Anyways, I told him I knew about Caleb for a long time now, and it didn't matter to me. What happened is the past. The past is the past. We don't choose how we come into the world. We are what we are. He shouldn't be ashamed of who he is because I know he's a good person. He left, and I just have been getting these feelings, these butterflies. Things feel right with him. Oh yes, oh yes. So we'll see where it goes from there.
Oh, by the way, just to point out real quickly that apparently Max Therrett, he's taking a step closer to becoming a young Bruce Wayne. He's going to be playing a heroic cowboy on this new History Channel Texas related. I forget what the title is. It's something Texas. It's like Texas Cowboy, something like that.
How do cowboys have to do with Bruce Wayne?
I'm just saying he's kind of becoming. I'm just saying he's taking a step closer to kind of being like kind of in the heroic role because it looks like just being kind of the hero gunslinger in the show.
All right.
Well, he's wearing some sort of costume, okay? He's getting closer to it.
All right, so another kind of scene with Bradley that kind of drags a little. Oh, I don't know what to do, Norman. I just don't want to be alone. And then Norman, he's just like, well, I better get back to Mother. Why does she want you gone? Why does she want you in the house? Because something's wrong with me.
Yeah, goes a little something like this.
There's something wrong with me.
Is there something wrong with you?
And I can only imagine Norman in this moment is thinking this. A little thoughtful. Then he will respond like this as he does in the episode.
Nicely played. Nicely played.
Right. So
Okay.
So our next scene.
Oh, I love this scene. Okay.
Oh yeah. So we have another.
I'm sure you have most of it on audio, so I'll just let you play it.
Sure. So we have another little Normero interaction. Again, it doesn't go all nice and pleasant like this as their previous encounter.
Alex!
Doesn't go like that. Goes a little something like,
Alex!
goes a little something like
Oh,
this
God.
in actuality. So Norma's sifting through Romero's house. Someone's broken in, so Romero's not gun drawn, everything. He's peering. It's Norma. This is his reaction to it.
My son isn't going to prison because some perverted asshole killed two women. He doesn't deserve it. Now put your damn gun down like you're going to shoot me. That'll be the day. So what? Where is it? Where's the stupid piece of computer here that's ruining my life?
I turned it over.
You did what?
All those people involved are all criminals, and they're going to go to prison. And they can go to hell for all I care, because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of trying to accommodate them and accommodate everybody. And I'm sick of trying to make all of this shit work. I'm done. I'm done with them, and I'm done with this town, and I'm done with everything.
How could you do that to me? Bob Harris will investigate my husband's death just to get me back. I'm screwed. I'm like totally screwed. How could you do that to me?
Would you lie to me?
I didn't
Oh,
lie to
come
you.
on, you know your husband.
I
He died in an accident. You know it, and I know it. So tell me the truth, okay? For once in your life, just tell me the truth, Norma.
I killed him.
Oh, come on, tell the truth.
He was abusive and I
God, give it the truth.
He was hitting me and I hit him in the head with a blender. And I didn't mean to kill him, but I did. And I dragged his body into the garage and I made him look like an ass shit.
Stop lying to me.
You know the truth, don't make me say it.
So to summarize Norma's, it's a Norma's feeling.
Oh, God.
So
Oh, this
wow.
is just a wonderful scene.
Oh yeah, huge Normero moment. It's a more negative Normero moment, but still powerful nonetheless. I mean, you know what this scene feels? It feels like it's from a 40s. It feels like Maltese Falcon to me, like kind of like the guy and basically like the widow or someone just kind of going to him saying, "How could you do this to me?" So the woman is just like really like against the guy, and she slaps him a few times, and he's like holding her like compassionate. She's like, "Get away from me, you brute! Get away!" It feels so classic 40s to me. I loved it.
You're right. It does.
You don't know what I did. I
Nestor
killed him. I
Carabanel,
killed him
just
all.
give Nestor Carabanel an Emmy.
Oh my God! He's again. We've seen Romero in just the weakest place in a good way. He's just basically completely a place we've never seen before. He's like at a wit's end. He's like, "Well, I'm leaving this town." He's the god of Blind Day. He's the guy who runs this town. He owned this town. He was the guy who made sure he was the Batman of this town.
That
He
doesn't count
was.
for a young
I know, but but still, he was the guy. He owned. This was his town, and he's lost it. He's just like he's sick and tired of dealing with Nick Fords and Shelbys and of these Shelbys, these Fords, and these Parises. He's just done with it. He's eating away at him. Like he had to drudge up all the stuff, the issues he had with his father and his mother. And he's taking its toll. The woman he loves, and he just can't express himself. He's kind of lost that relationship. So Renner's got nothing left. He's got nothing. He's just reading, I'm moving out of this town. So, well, what about me? Well, yeah, I kind of ruined your life too in the process. Well, how could you do that? Well, you ruined my life first.
The moment where he just screams in her face, "Stop lying to me."
Right.
That might be one of my favorite moments in the history of the show that just isn't like a crazy Norman blackout moment or something like that. It's one of the most genuine like performance moments I've ever seen on the show.
You know what's so great about it, Tiki? What's so great about that Romero moment is that it's just it kind of harkens back to his main character trait of like, you know, he's willing to break the rules, but he has to know that it was a just action. And you know, because like
Exactly.
Because remember, second scene, the big thing was like he's willing to let the guy that took the fall from Norman with the Blair Watson murder go to prison as long as like he knows it was like the right thing to do. That's why Norman, I need to know what happens. I need to know why they slept Blair Watson if he killed her or not. I need to know. So like, he needs that closure because if he's going to break the rules for the town, again, first season he saved Norman, saved the business, and everything by killing that one guy. But again, it was the just action though. And here here's the same thing. You know, he's lost everything. He wants to know from Norma. He's shouting at her. He's just so desperate. Desperation in his voice really shows. And I love that. Just he feels so genuinely hurt by this woman. He's just confronting her, saying, you know, why did you lie to me? Again, last episode he did the same things. It's not just rehash. It's just him truly trying to get through her thick skull, just saying, why did you lie to me? You ruined my life. I deserve an answer. Why? You know you can trust me. I saved your life God knows how many times. I got you your car back. Why'd you lie to me? Seriously, you know I love you, but why are you lying to me? Essentially is what he's saying.
Yeah, and just the pain and frustration, and like he just has such a range of emotion when he's screaming that to her.
And of course,
it's really powerful.
It's the perfect
stuff.
conflict because on Norma's side, it's like she would love to tell Romero because she felt in early in the season she feels safe with Romero.
Right. Oh yeah. She
will not. Her character will not allow her to endanger Norman in any way possible. She will not do that. She will not allow it. It means even though she trusts Romero, she can't let him because it might compromise the relationship on some levels. Again, it's kind of the fear of Norman kind of infringing on her life in terms of she doesn't want to risk a relationship with Romero by telling him the truth about Norman. That's going to cast aspersions on her and probably put Norman in a mental institution because she knows on some level that Romero, being the logical guy that he is, he's going to like lock him away somewhere or like suggest that he go to mental institution. He's going to carry that out, and she knows that's why she can't tell him. So again, it's a real kind of Romeo and Juliet thing going on here. They want to get together, but they just can't. Their stuff will not let them get together.
So I would definitely call this the best scene in the episode.
Oh, one of the best scenes in the season, but a really great scene in the episode. So,
Okay.
Let's see. So what's next? So after a little Romero and Juliet scene, like Normero and Juliet. Let's see. What do we got? We got just making sure we're not missing anything. I hate you.
I hate you. I hate you.
I just love this. Again, for me, I just love when she yells. Oh yeah, then we have like the next freak out. Yeah, I know what we got next.
Yeah.
So again, after that so sad moment, we have Norma doing what she does best when she's confronted with a problem. A big reminder of her problem. She does not react well to it. Case in point being the sign behind Tiki's head. Which, by the way, free hugs for Norma after that big emotionally heart-wrenching scene, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so,
God, keep going.
I guess, anyways, this is her reaction to the whole, it's kind of the grievance of her problem. This is the visual reminder from Paris of, like, hope you enjoy your pool. It's most likely going to be your tomb. Trying to fill it up with... So, first of all, I love that. Just the
It's just glorious. It's just fucking glorious.
Yeah, I guess what's so great about it is just she's so desperate. It's her the way she justifies it herself. Like, if I can somehow fill this whole thing, so they're not gonna have the hole anymore, which means not gonna have power. She's in so much denial. It's like basically she is in a position where she can't do anything right. It's where like anything she do, it just won't help her in the grand scheme. This is like the most minimal thing she can do to help herself, like getting rid of the hole by doing. Again, it's a hugely deep hole. We've seen that. It's a massively deep hole, and this little adorable mother just trying to grab a huge. I can imagine the shovel's taller than she is. I can just picture that. Just trying to shovel it in there. Which I kind of called, by the way. I said I knew she was gonna. That was gonna be a part of it.
Oh yeah, you definitely call that.
It's gonna be filling that hole just in a desperate ploy, just like now it's gone. No one's gonna fall into it. Anyway, so then just kind of Caleb pulls up as he's about to leave town. You're saying and saying.
I like how it's shot. I like how we see Caleb pulling up in the background when she's having the freak out.
Oh yeah, and just Caleb's reaction, like what is happening here? What was that?
What was that?
Yeah, so then basically we have this moment here for Caleb's goodbye scene in a way.
Norma, before I go, I need to tell you something. Okay, something about Norman.
Norma? You don't even know him.
When I was here last time, you know, when you wouldn't talk to me, I was staying at a motel near here. And he found me. He came to my room and started talking about how angry he was. About how I raped him. And then I started to realize he thought he was you.
There's nothing wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with him.
Look, you can see the world however you want, Norma. Okay, I know you don't like looking at the truth. But the truth is, Norman is gonna hurt someone. I just hope it isn't you. Goodbye, Norman, please.
Also, something nice about that scene was before he mentioned like he was leaving. He said, "Well, he said goodbye to Dylan, right?" So the point, like she's accepting him in Dylan's life, which is nice. Like you could be a part of our family in some way as long as it relates to Dylan.
Yeah, and she's even encouraging him to say goodbye. You know,
which he did, which is nice.
Sure.
So anyway, so pretty much huge bomb has been dropped on Norma here, just realizing the depths of Norman is completely convinced that he did that, and I think on some level she's realizing. Basically, it's the best kind of continuation from that earlier scene when she hashed it out with Norman of like the whole maybe you're responsible for these crimes, Norman. Now Caleb just saying, well, he did this because he thought he was you. So pretty much she's realizing in this scene that Norman does these things because he thinks that's what Norman would want him to do.
Oh God.
So she realizes it is my fault. Like literally, he turns into me, doing things I wouldn't do for myself. At least the way he convinces it. And of course, I might have issue with the fact Caleb did mention, oh yeah, he tried to stab me, but
whatever.
It works. It's still the points driven there. I mean, if hopefully Norman does not meet a similar fate, otherwise that would have been helpful information. But we'll see.
Oh God. Right.
But missed. Okay. Darn it. Still wish he just kind of nicked him a little. Anyway. So really, it's a huge bomb dropped on Norman there. So let's see. Next. Oh, speaking of Norman, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. We have Norman and Bradley. They're having a little chat here. So basically, do you have any plans for what the next move is? Bradley has no plans. He doesn't know what to do next, like where to go. Mason is probably gonna leave at it. Probably going to leave town. Says, why don't you come with me? He says, no. Because of his mother, obviously. He can't leave his mother.
Also partly because there is, quote unquote, something wrong with him.
Of course. And he also goes into like what the specifics are of like what exactly is wrong with him. But he says like neurological disorder.
That was kind of nice, him opening up to her like that.
I just love that's kind of like the thing where you can just kind of go into like what the specifics are, like neurological disorder with that includes lacking out.
Well, I like the fact that he mentions he can't drive because I can very much relate to that with my high anxiety. I cannot drive either. And that's a real thing.
Just love the fact. I get a sense that Norman, because I don't imagine Norman would ever do this. I think Norman must have just out of curiosity after finding out what exactly he does. He must have looked it up out of curiosity, like what exactly his symptoms are. I'm getting a sense that that's what Norman did.
Mm.
Yeah. So Bradley, looking pretty seductive, by the way. She gets out of the bed and she's not wearing pants.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
And she's not wearing pants, and I'm convinced, I could be wrong here, she said something to help her sleep. I'm getting the sense it might have been a birth control pill. I don't know.
Ooh, could have been. I don't
It was
know.
ambiguous. She goes off there walking seductively without pants.
I was thinking it was like a, it was like a NyQuil or something.
It might have. I don't know. The point is, she said she's been in rough shape. Maybe she just isn't sleeping well. I'm just reading into it. I don't know. I'm just looking at it in terms of like kind of evil yoga pose, Bradley. What she would do.
Oh God.
No, seriously though, I think I like this little catch that Norman is kind of looking at her. You can see kind of him reading into the seductiveness of her walking around like that, and just him, like, you see like he's starting to drift in the blackout mode right there.
Sure.
Yeah, he almost kind of did this. He did the same thing with Emma earlier in the season, just kind of watching her and kind of paying attention. Same thing with Norma too. Remember, he's kind of looking at Norma.
Oh yeah.
In a similar vein. So she's taking the pill. He mentions like neurological disorder. Let's see. Then she brings up. Remember that night? Wait, basically she's kind of bringing on like, maybe we should go back to that one night. We're saying, you remember that night way back in season 1 where I said, yeah, I said no to you. Pretty much, you told me you loved me, and I said I didn't feel the same way, and then Norman actually turned into Norma in that scene. Remember, he subtly he was blacking out in that scene.
And what was his reaction?
His reaction was speaking on behalf of Norma, saying,
I don't think you're a nice girl.
That's how it left it.
There it is.
I don't think you're nice.
I really like Bradley was like, and you said I wasn't a nice girl. Norman, I can be a nice girl for you. I wanted that scene to go there so bad. Oh, wow.
It would have been awesome. But I think we should remember, like, just in remembrance here, of the only good girl in Bates Motel, aside from the one who kind of made this phrase work.
You seem like a nice girl.
Oh.
Thank you for saying that.
Seriously, the only one who made that comment.
Exactly.
Anyway, so then they're getting intimate here. Bradley's making her moves as kind of her yoga pose would suggest.
Oh God.
She keeps it limber. That's what she does. So they're kissing. They're getting into it. Again, she's not wearing pants. And then Norman's just hearing something in the back of his mind. We don't know what it is, but we get a sense.
Here's a very slow Norman.
And we hear it. It goes a little something like this. Sorry.
Norma.
What the? I don't have that. I'm sorry, folks. Here we go. Here, sorry. It's here. Now, there's that music cue.
Don't go. Where are you going? What are you so shocked? I saw what you were about to do in there.
So are we, Norman.
What are you gonna do about that girl in there? I know what you want to do.
It's not like that. She's just in trouble.
That bitch Frantic Martin has always been a pain in my ass. She was
5 words.
She just had to get away from some very bad people.
Norman, listen to me. We have a lot of trouble on our plate. We don't need anything more.
Sorry, you're right. I'm so sorry. I just felt bad for her.
I know, honey.
Oh boy. Yeah. And I think the ultimate reaction to that from an outside party would be simply,
What was that?
Speaking of reactions from an outside party, I thought it was a little bit of a missed opportunity that we didn't see Bradley watching Norman have a conversation with himself.
Well, remember, he was just hearing Norman in that scene when they were together.
Well, no, I know, but like, but wouldn't you think after he runs out of the hotel room, like how awesome would it have been if we just see like a quick shot of her looking out the window and seeing him on the porch, kind of like having a conversation?
No, that would have been cool. It'd be kind of nice if we just did kind of a Breaking Bad, kind of rewind a few minutes in the next episode, like you see like the other side of that. It would be kind of neat if we started.
Actually, that would be cool. I hope they do that.
We probably won't, but it'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
But still,
I absolutely love Vera Farmiga's delivery when she's like, "I know what you want to do." I'm sorry, it's just hilarious.
You're right. It is funny. Again, it's like that. It's kind of calling back to that. It's fresh in my mind. Is the whole the whole sex talk she had about in regards to Emma, just saying like you're not thinking with your head right now. It's really blunt about things. Now let me tell you what.
She does like a little little like gesture, like I know what you want to do. Oh, yeah.
So first of all, let me tell you why this scene's brilliant. Let me tell you why.
Well, it's brilliant. I'll tell you why. It's brilliant because we don't know if it's actually Norma or not when he first walks up.
Well, we know it's not. Here's the thing. Well, the big clue is that she's in the dress.
Did you? Because, well, yeah, that's true. She is in the dress, right? I didn't consider that.
However, here's the brilliance. Let me tell you why.
I thought it was like just so cool how she was like so casual about everything that it very well could have been real Norma.
Well, that's the thing. It's brilliant because we've seen kind of Norma kind of in classic mother mode, but here they're starting to brilliantly. It's all coming together towards the end here. Brilliantly, we've set up kind of the various kind of shades of. This is the most natural sounding to Norma, and this mother wasn't like kind of over the top kind of mother as she usually is. This isn't like
right.
Norman, you know what you have to do. It wasn't that. It was just like literally sounded like just Norma. So again, the lines are really becoming blurred. We have a few clues to suggest that she's basically what she's saying and her being addressed. And of course, the fact that we see she's not there. But I mean, though it's starting to get really convincing. She's starting to sound a lot like Norma, making some logical points, like Norma saying, "Well, we don't need more trouble like this." So she's sounding a lot like Norma.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So I think it's brilliant. We're seeing the lines are really starting to blur, and that's what's going to set Norman off. He won't be able to tell. We've been setting up this whole season. He's not going to be able to tell reality from fiction here. Like because earlier on, the whole bit was just asking Norman, "Wait, are you really here right now?" He's losing it, man.
Oh, that was great. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in his head. So,
so you want to quickly? I'm sorry.
But the inflections are great in this scene too. Like the whole honey. Oh, you have such a big heart, honey. And like this whole like this says what you really again. It sounds like Norma because Norma doesn't like Bradley Martin. just saying.
That bitch Bradley Martin has been a pain in my ass.
Exactly, that's Norma to a T. She does not. So that is again. I love just the creepiness of our ending. Just seeing Norman being walking arm in arm with his mother, who's not there. Oh my God, that has a brilliant way to end an episode.
Oh yeah, it was. It was a great shot for sure.
And they're walking to the house. I'm sure the next episode might start with just them walking into the house, no one there. So they get blacked out at the end there. That's when we're chalking up to the blackout counter.
Okay, you want to do that right now?
Yeah,
okay,
he's in
6 so far.
Yeah, he's in stage 1 of blackout mode because he's hallucinating vigorously. So that's an additional.
Okay, so that brings our total up to 7. 7 blackouts. All right. What do you want to do first? Spec or death odds?
Well, yeah, we'll hold off on the death. Let's go through the promo and the spec.
Okay, really quick.
Okay, so promo. We see, looks like Bradley's finally convinced Norman that we're going to leave town. Norman's still on the fence about it, but looks like he's going to be on the lam with Bradley.
Yeah, we'll see how far they get.
I don't imagine they'll get far. Remember that line with Cody. It's like if I left town, my mother would put out an Amber Alert before we reached.
But now I think that the mother might be like in his own head. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And that mother might be the one putting out an Amber Alert.
I don't know. I think Norma would still put like an Amber Alert. I have to find her when she made it. She's the same one who burned down.
Oh, I'm sure Norma will be freaking out too. But I'm just saying, like, come on, Norman's gonna kill Bradley.
No, of course.
That's speculation right there. Come on.
Yeah, I'm okay. So let's see, in the promo we also see like Norma realizing that Norman definitely needs help, and there's like I love this great moment of Norman saying, "Wait, so you're giving up on me?" Just like the way he delivers that, like, so you're giving up.
So I guess the implication is that she wants to throw him into a mental hospital.
And then he's gonna be leaving with Bradley. I'm assuming he's gonna be like faced with the decision of like, "Hey, why don't you leave town with me?" He says, "I don't know." Norma's gonna like suggest getting him help of some kind, committing him somewhere, and then he's gonna say, well, "Okay, nope, that's not happening. Let's go, Bradley."
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that definitely sounds very plausible.
I just love the betrayal in his voice of like, "So you're giving up on me."
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That's what's been building up the whole season.
Remember, Norma really doesn't like mental hospitals or any psychological help because of what happened to her mother. So this is a huge thing for the mother thing.
That's
just a big
true. I forgot about yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, Romero has a soft spot for his mother, and Norma has issues with like how her mother kind of declined in her later years.
Sure,
a lot of motherly themes. So also, we see the fun reverse is that now she's frantically making a call to Dylan, where Dylan tried to do that previously. Dylan, you need to come home right now, which kind of spells potential doom for Dylan. We don't know.
No.
There was a struggle on the staircase, in which she's kind of falling down the stairs. I'm not saying that's doing her in, but I'm just saying it's kind of like a struggle's happening.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
No, she was still moving when she hit the ground. I'm just saying the point is like she and Norman are going to be kind of hashing out. I think it's definitely going to be playing on the fact she's scared of Norman.
But yeah, I mean, exactly. Just the fact that it's like she is like Norman is really losing it now.
Yeah, remember that staircase has literally killed people in Psycho. I just want to point that out, that the staircase literally has committed murder.
That's very true. A great shot.
Just want to make that clear so people don't underestimate the power of the staircase in this show.
Okay.
Also, it's the last one, of course, the huge thing is implying death for Bradley's that the mother would like to talk to you, and like swerving the car off the road.
Oh yeah, Bradley's a goner.
Oh yeah, she is. She's gone. Okay, so let's speculate on that in just the next episode, kind of our finale here.
Okay, really quick. Again, what do you think is going to happen with Emma? Because I think that's kind of the biggest loose end.
Okay, well let me address this real quick. So like in the trailers we've gotten, at one point there are 2 shots we haven't gotten yet, and I'm starting to wonder how much of that was trailer bait and or deleted scene, because we had a scene. I've looked it up, folks. So I'm telling you, it is there in the trailer. The flashes we get of Norman and Emma getting intimate. I mean, like they're making out, and I've been looking out for like her in that yellow sweater. That's what I'm waiting for. If she wears if she wears that yellow sweater in the next episode, that's the signal that she's gonna be getting intimate with Norman.
Okay, fair enough. I'll look for that.
If she doesn't, then I'm saying now if it doesn't, I'm not saying it looked too well shot to be trailer bait, but I'm thinking it was like a deleted scene, if anything.
Sure.
Which is possible. So it's gonna be kind of it's gonna bug me if it's not there, but we'll see. It was in the trailer, and the other trailer shot's important. That it looks like it could be trailer bait, but it could be in this last one. It's a biggie. Norman holding the black lingerie.
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, that one could
forgot all about that.
That one looks like it could be trailer bait, but I'm still saying that
You're right. Yeah.
Norman and Emma thing. So let's see. So I'm thinking I think regardless, here's what I'm predicting for Emma. If she does not die, here's what's going to happen. Because they've set up earlier on that she has to go to Portland to have the procedure done. So that's going to get her out of she's been going out of town in the last episode.
Okay.
If she doesn't die, or at least the setup of that episode is going to be like she's going to Portland to get ready for a lung transplant. Maybe it'll either be an episode, or they're going to say, well, it's been a few months and now she's all good and healthy because she's got a lung in there now.
That makes sense.
So we'll see how that goes. I think that will be taking her out of the picture for a while. At least kind of be the excuse why she's out of the picture if she's going to Portland. Maybe that'll keep her around for next season. And I think still she's destined to die, because a character with that much going on is kind of has living with a death sentence that has to pay off
at some point. Yeah, at some point she will die. But the question is it going to be this season or not? Is it going to be in the finale?
I mean, I still think they've set up so much. I think it's because their story is coming to an end regardless. I think it's just the painful setup of, well, we have the $50,000. It was a big toss of whether we're going to get it or not. We have the means, and I think the big kind of pulling out the rug from under us is going to be, well, we have the means. It looks like things are looking at their most hopeful. Nope, she's going to get killed off. So
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Point is, I see the potential of her coming.
To tell you the truth, though, I'm more worried about Mr. Dakota in terms of Chick going after him for the money.
To be honest, I'm not as worried about him for, because I'm just thinking of the logistics of Hogan finding him. But again, it's $50,000. I don't know, but
yeah,
I'm still worried about either they're gonna like safely get Emma out of there, or she's gonna be dead, because I think her story coming to a close. Because again, if you fix Emma, I'm not saying it makes her an uninteresting character. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it takes away a big aspect of her character, which makes me think.
No, you're right. You're right. It does. It does.
So I think they're going to kill her because they've set up, like, giving us false hope at this point. So I'm thinking she might be dying next episode. Then again, the promos have been smart enough not to show Emma in the promo.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, though, that kind of spells some hints of her dying is that the most recent Inside the Bates Motel episode has been really, it was focused on Emma, which makes me think, oh man, they're focusing on Emma. Why would that be? I don't know.
The tinfoil hat.
I don't know. Okay, also, I think just in terms of some other stuff here, I think Paris and Romero are going to have their standoff. I think it's going to be basically a lot of those two versus each other, because Paris is being a little in the background.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Episode, of course, his flash drive hasn't been given over to the authorities, so he's going to have to retaliate in some way.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. So I think Romero and Norma are kind of destined to save each other in this last episode. So I think it's either going to be. I like
that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I want to say it's going to be Norma that's going to save Romero to kind of redeem herself. That's what I think it's going to be, and that's going to result in those two getting a little closer after that. Then again, it could be like Norma being targeted because the flash drive phone's wrong, and Romero's kind of coming to the rescue, realizing, well, yeah, this is kind of my fault. I got to save her because I do care about this woman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Also, I think we might get Caleb. I think Caleb's going to be dying of self-sacrifice. I kind of wish it was at Norman's hand, but
if he's going to die at all, he's going to die saving Dylan. I mean, that's just how it is.
Exactly. That is how he's going to die. I wish it was kind of at Norman's hand, but you can't have everything.
No, I don't think it has to be at Norman's hand. I think story-wise, it would be a little more appropriate. If his
character arc has evolved to the point. Yeah, Caleb's character arc has evolved to the point where he's not just intrinsically linked with Norman. He has his own thing going on with Dylan and Chick Hogan, so I think, yeah, he could die at Chick Hogan's hand. I think it's going to be Hogan has Dylan in his sights. Caleb swoops in, being the ultimate dad in his last moments. Gets killed, and then Dylan kills Hogan in retaliation, which makes me sad for Chick Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still thinking, like, if Hogan does kill Caleb, then of course, why would Dylan not kill Chick Hogan? So,
yeah,
it's gonna be sad, but I think it's in the cards for Hogan to die.
Yeah, we'll see.
If Caleb dies, Hogan dies. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you. All right.
Harris, I hope Harris does not die. I really hope he doesn't die. But then again, Romero's going to be really desperate in this next episode. I don't know. Last thing, I guys.
Hurry up.
I really hope the visual image. I really hope that we get the peephole to end the season.
Oh, the peephole to end of the season. Okay, yeah, that definitely seems like it could be.
I know that was a teaser, but I would love to see that as the last kind of image of the season.
Who would Norma be looking at? Would it be him looking in on Norma?
Well, yeah. In theory, it should be Norma, yeah, because the implication in the second movie is that he carved that people look specifically at Norma.
Oh, that's creepy. That's really creepy. Okay, that's good theory. We'll see. All right, really quickly, the death odds. Emma, last week she was at 90%. This week she goes down a little bit to 75%. To 75%. Still not really in the clear because, as we said, her story still is kind of wrapping up, and that's not a good thing. Dylan, he went from 58 to 6 of getting involved in the Chick Hogan mess. Norma, she went up from 73 last week to 85 because it definitely looks like, Norman, he's going into full-on crazy mode. He's being very resentful towards her, and also Paris is closing in on her. Caleb, he went up from 88 to 90 just because we think he's going to make that sacrificial move. Romero, 70 to 80 because, he's Romero. He's in the line of fire, and as we've discussed, his you know, he's had less power than ever. So, yeah. Cupcake Boy, 25% just on the off chance that he gets hit in the Chick Hogan crossfire. Could happen. He could end up being the message, as you said. Bob, we got him 73% last week, 83% this week, rises up 10% just because everyone wants him dead. So, yeah. Bob's Goon, not much to say, goes from 75 78. Chick Hogan's 63 to 67. I do genuinely hope he makes it out alive, but yeah, he's definitely made some enemies. We'll see what happens with it. Mr. Ducote, this is the biggest raise of the episode. He went from a 4% chance of death to a 20% chance of death just because of him being in possession of the money. And finally, we have Bradley, who she was at a 50% chance of death, and now she's at a 95. And quite frankly, I think that's almost being a little generous. All right, BlueDragonFive. Any final thoughts on this episode?
Sure, but real quick, I'm just gonna play a few things to psych us up for the next episode.
Okay.
For the love of God, don't fall in.
That might be coming to play. Someone fall in that hole, and there's something big, just with the blackouts.
Don't fall apart, Norman. If anyone tries to hurt you, I will kill him.
Kill him.
Yeah. Like you said, overall, the episode, I liked it. I think it was solid. Again, the Bradley stuff, I think it really does pay off in the end. I'm just hope as long as it pays off with the next episode, I think I'm gonna be more forgiving of the Bradley stuff. But it was a little weak in the beginning. But it just felt like it was a good episode, just not as strong as the other fantastic ones we got this season.
I mean, we've been saying this whole time, like, this is a season that's just been building and building and building upon itself, and every week has, like, been better than the last, and it can't always be that way. It just can't.
I mean, and look, with the Bradley stuff, I mean, they took a risk by bringing her back in the series. They must have some sort of plan with that, a purpose for doing so. I'm gonna put my faith in
the purpose is gonna be to send Norman more over the edge, but we'll see how it plays.
I mean, there are various things that could do that. They must have like a specific reason, like what they can do with like her death in particular.
Yeah,
but we'll see. So I think they got a plan. We'll put some faith in the writers of Bates Motel. They've never steered us wrong before.
But as I said, I do think that the Romero scene with him yelling at Norma and everything, that was so strong. That was one of Romero's best scenes.
No, we get some really, again, that's the whole, like, maybe you killed the mother. Because remember, Norman did see, we saw through his point of view when he was blacking out in the tub, he saw that Norma was the one that killed his father.
Very true.
So
Yeah,
again,
that's true.
Basically, a lot of big scenes in this episode, though, regardless of if it was as good as the other ones or not. But at the end, it was decent. It was solid build-up for the finale.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for a penultimate episode, really. Okay, so with that in mind, do you want to play the clip to send us out?
Oh, sure.
All right. Go to hell, you son of a bitches!